Welcome back to the Developer Show. I'm Fatima, and we are going to try something totally new this episode.
So hey, I'm Fern. I'm here. I'm back. And today, instead of
Welcome
the
back, Fern.
oh yeah, thank you. So instead of the regular interview segments, we're gonna go through some code demos, and we're gonna showcase some of those new features that we developed in GitLab 18.3, the newest release. So I'm gonna
Yeah,
have fun. It's gonna be real cool. But Fatima, kick off the
we also
guests.
have this new cool guest with us, a really good friend of mine, Ebru. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Ebru, welcome.
Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm Abraham Wall, Senior Solution Architect at GitLab. I have the pleasure of working with big Bay Area enterprise customers. And thank you so much. I'm really having so much fun and happy to be here and show you guys a demo.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm super hyped for that for
So
sure. It's gonna be
today
fun.
we'll be doing the 18.3 highlights like Fern talked about. Everyone's going to give us this really cool demo on AI agents with some integrations that I will keep a surprise. You'll also get to see a demo of Duo Coder View and some cool features that we'll do with release highlights. So most importantly, for our audience, you'll get to vote on the project that we'll build on the next episode. So stick around after the demo and make sure that you get your vote in. Let's get started. Our first content for the day is release highlights. So let me pull those up so that we can take
Yeah.
a look at them together.
And 18.3, that was last week, right? We released that on Thursday.
That's right, August
Yeah.
21st, 2025. Congratulations to Ahmed Kashkush for being the notable contributor of the release. He's worked on a 5-year-old feature request, which is really amazing. And we wouldn't be where we are without our community. So the first thing that we wanted to share is the Duo Agent Platform is now in beta in Visual Studio. This is really exciting. I think we'll get a glimpse of this, right, at Brew with your demo later.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm very excited. Yeah, we're going to show some agentic chat. We're just going to generate some, and we're going to do some vibe coding.
Ooh, okay.
Hmm.
So the cool two things with the platform is you have the agentic chat that you'll take a look at, and then we have something called agent flows. And so we've released 2 flows so far, and we're gonna continue to release those, and so that's really exciting.
Yeah, that I will show a little bit of that with the issue to MR. Yeah,
The issue to
absolutely.
MR floor, exciting.
And if you didn't catch our last episode, we did go over agentic chat if you want to see a whole vibe coding session on that as well. And today we'll show agent flows, but we did show some agentic chat if anyone wants to look at last month's episode.
Absolutely. You can find that on our LinkedIn. Moving on, I know the GLQL team is really excited about embedded views going GA. If you've been with us since episode 1, you may have seen Matt's demo on GLQL back when it was still experimental. And so now it's GA. You can embed these views across your project and pull in all the status of different issues. And so it's really helpful to sort of keep context across all of your projects.
Yeah, he's been so excited about that for a while. So look into it. So much enthusiasm on that feature. So
Realizing I should maybe zoom in a little bit. Oh,
oh, he zoomed
I
into me.
stopped sharing. I think it stopped sharing for a second. Let me pull it back up again. I mean, all right. Scrolling down through the release because there is a lot in there.
It,
We
it
wanted to
stopped.
feature
Fatima stopped sharing. Yeah, we tried to redo it. I don't see it.
wrong screen. 1 second. Take a look at my living room for a second. There we go. Did that work?
There we
Yes,
go. Yeah, we're good.
perfect.
Okay, sorry about that. The next thing we wanted to talk about is the code review, which is available on Duo self-hosted. Fern, you've been working a little bit with code review on self-hosted, right?
Yeah, no, it's actually a really cool, fun feature, and this is what I'm gonna demo, and I'll leave it to the demo. But essentially, you can host your own models, assign those models to different GitLab Duo features, and then run those features. And we've just released code review beta for self-hosted models. So that's a really cool, neat thing that I'll show within my local environment.
Awesome.
Yeah, thanks for doing that. Like, I'm very curious to see that. Like, I use the code review. It's one of my favorite features. But like, it's good to see the self-hosted as well. There are so many customers that are looking for that. Thank you
Yeah,
for.
it's fun. It's super fun, and honestly, just using it on your own and having it, even customer use cases where it can be air gapped and they can have these models living there. I mean, these things are super cool for our high security customers.
Awesome. And one of the things that I'm excited about is just, being able to use the models that might be compatible with the thing that you're working on. And so it's great that we now support that third party integrations. Moving along, here's bring your own models that Fern will talk about a little later.
Hmm.
And then the one that we wanted to sort of skip to, as you can see, there's quite a lot in this release, is all the way at the bottom. Our little gift at the bottom is our official MCP server experimentation. And I know you're really excited about this. I think
Yes.
you've already
I'm,
worked with
I'm like, is it officially official? I think it is.
Hmm.
I'm very, very excited about that because now like you can use any tool with the GitLab APIs, and it's going to be awesome. I'm very excited about it, and CLA agents too. I'm excited about everything. I'm very passionate about
this
AI.
is my favorite part of the release. Like all the way at the bottom, that's where my exciting pieces
Yeah,
are.
experiment. I mean, the experiments are always the most fun.
It's
Awesome.
so good.
So we dropped a link to the release if you want to check out the details on that. I know we kind of sped through it, but we're really excited about this AI agents demo. So let's keep moving. Let's move into Ebru's demo. I know you have some really cool stuff prepared for us.
Yeah, let's
Yes.
kick it off.
Oh my gosh, already? Okay, let me. I Yeah, no pressure at all. Okay, so I hope I am gonna just like share my screen very quickly, and you tell me if it is showing what it's supposed to do. Yeah, is it showing right now?
Yes, I am looking
Hmm.
at your outline.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much. So you can see the introduction as well, right? Double checking.
Yes.
Perfect. So, hello everyone. So I'm so excited to be here to show you something that is interesting. What I'm going to show you is to how to build AI agents for QA testing using GitLab Duo Agent Platform. So, what I'm going to do is like first, I'm going to talk about why I picked the subject and why I found it very interesting. Then I'll demo creating a LangGraph React agent, reasoning action, and agent for the puzzle that I made. It's like a very simple puzzle, and using my iterative prompt engineering approach that I'm going to show you and get your feedback and what you guys are thinking. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to add a new feature to this agent by using GitLab's issue to MR flow. And very, very at the end, we are going to do an on-demand testing in merge request using a simple
Exciting.
YAML configuration.
Hmm.
So let's kick it off with whys.
Yeah.
So why I picked this subject, it's because what you're looking at is a pre-shift left a QA strategy
Yeah.
from back in my engineering days, right? So pre-shift left, every single release we had like 5 days delay. Let me see if I can just like click on this. There you go. Every release we have like 5 days delay because of the QA bottlenecks.
Right.
It's not because of QA team was bad. They are awesome. They're hardworking. But the problem was that we were following a traditional QA
Yeah.
strategy, right? Which is like we are not including QA earlier in the process.
And so once it's all done, it's getting passed to QA, and then they have
Exactly.
to QA
Push it
all
at
of the stuff in the release, and that's a lot. Yeah.
Absolutely. We just like push it at the end, let them figure it out. So here's how it goes, right? So this is me. I'm Dev. I love SQL. I pushed a new feature with the SQL update, and another developer pushes something with the REST API, or I don't know, with a connector change. Everything like passes. Then we are in staging. SRE at the same time does an infra change. Something is broken. It goes to QA, and QA is like, what is happening? Reports the bug to me. And then we just start investigating together. Is it me? Is it the infra? Is it other dev? Should QA change the old scripts? There's a lot of back and forth, and then we waste a lot of time. I don't
Yeah.
know. This sounds familiar,
It
probably.
does,
Oh,
it does. I haven't been in
Hmm.
software engineering in a while, but this is exactly what would happen, and then QA would sometimes get upset with you because you push things that maybe weren't in the specs, because by the time it got to them, you hadn't updated the specs.
absolutely. So again, you try to identify the codes. Like some of the engineering teams like still have this approach, but again, it is something that with the modern QA,
Drum roll.
even even with the pre AI, there is more like we are started including QA earlier in the process. But with the AI though, now like what you can do, which is like super exciting, software engineering and test and all these engineers actually started creating their own AI agents, right? So now I'm just pushing a new feature. What can this time we can use an AI agent triggered by CI/CD pipeline test and
Mm.
new commits that it can check. Oh, there's a new button that is generated. Let me run all the commits for the bugs and validate if the reported issues, like maybe like there's a bug that you're trying to fix or you edit a new button. It goes actually an AI agent checks if it's doing the functionality or fix the bug, right?
Mhm.
But at the same time, what you can also do, you have like this complex business logic that, hey, I created a new sign up for
Mm.
users. And then what you can do is that you can do on-demand testing inside of your MR by saying like, hey, here's the flow, go figure it out. Let me know if you can sign up. Like AI agent, you can do those kind of things or test my button with this new complex logic.
Hmm.
Mm.
And anytime that something fails, and then there's root cause analysis agent that's like even before it goes to QA, you
We're already
develop.
checking for the failures. Yeah.
Actually, absolutely. You're just like checking the log. It checks the logs. Is it me? And then you can fix the code. If it's not you, then you can talk to your AI buddy to update the automations or update the prompts, which is great. But it comes with a but. Always there's a
Surprise.
but. So this is great. You like teams are empowered to build their own AI agents, but of course, where it gets complicated for software engineering and test, to build these AI agents, you suddenly need to become an expert in prompt and engineering, context engineering,
Mhm.
LangGraph,
It's a
MCP
lot.
integration, exactly like infrastructure hosting, maintenance. Like maintenance, I think is the craziest part, right? Like somebody also needs to do all this like platform integrations, right?
Right.
So it's a lot of work, it's costly, there's a lot of infrastructure overhead, and it consumes too many engineering resources where actually you can focus on your product development, actual product development, what matters, right?
Hmm.
Mhm.
So this is what we are trying to solve with GitLab Duo Agent Platform, right? So here, I mentioned root cause analysis. This is built-in root cause analysis AI agent that can
Mhm.
help you with the CI/CD pipeline failures. Also, the second thing is like what you were just saying that's super excited about on-demand testing in the MR. This
You can call the
piece,
CLI agent to test the new business logic.
boom, bada bing, bada boom.
Oh, bada
Wait,
Exactly.
bing, bada boom.
question that I have, just being like picky, where how even if the test, so like let's say we push unit tests, we push functional tests, right, and they pass and they work, we still need a human to oversee that those are the right tests being made. Like, is there still some type of like human oversight to this component,
Yeah,
instead of letting the AI agent just kind of just go crazy, go willy nilly? Like, is there some type of flow where we're actually validating that?
yeah, absolutely. This is what I'm going to show you as well today. So
Hmm.
it's kind of like you're just like generate creating. So this on demand part is basically it's a custom workflow setup that you just like put together by using pre-built integrations with Anthropic Cloud, Gemini, OpenAI Codex, and Amazon Q, I think. Yes, Amazon Q as well. So what you do is that you provide the YAML file, which is over here. And
Hmm.
then inside the YAML file, you can provide that specific validations and all the prompts that what this agent's supposed to do. And then you can put together all this like logic inside as well, other than
Okay.
your other than you're creating. So it's kind of like this is more like edge case testing. Again,
Mhm.
I'm not QA engineer. I think this is more like a inspiration for QA to do their thing. What I'm gonna do is like I'm gonna test it with the playwright. But what you can do is that now compared to this like creating your own AI agent versus the let me go just
And
like
managing the orchestration and sort of
yeah,
then maintaining
exactly.
all of those connections, you can now work with the prompt file.
So it saves you a bunch of time, so I don't have to like look
Time
up
maintenance.
documentation, how to write this particular test. I can get it done. I can validate it, review it, and that's why reviews are really important, like human reviews. And
Oh
then
yeah.
once, yeah, so then like Yeah, okay. So the way, so because we had one question is like, how is this different than
Yeah,
just
let's
like,
can we pull that question up on the
yeah,
screen? We had a question from Kuldeep in the chat. Um,
I'm not sure if it is.
there we
yeah,
go.
here it is. Okay. How is it different? How is it different of having unit test
Sorry, Ever,
cases?
you don't need to pull it up.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
sorry, I was
Yeah,
sorry.
talking to our producer,
Oh,
Jill,
yeah,
in the
yeah.
sorry.
background. She'll do the magic, and so yeah, go ahead, Fern.
Yeah, so I'll state it. So here's the question that we had from our audience at Brew. How is it different from having unit test cases as a job and end-to-end cases in the pipeline? Like, how is the agent different than running unit tests in the pipeline, or end-to-end tests in the pipeline? Like, what is the value? And that's the question that we're getting
Oh,
from our audience. Like, why not just go to Claude or go to
And
GitLab
create a
Duo?
bunch of unit tests.
Yeah, create and ask the agentic chat, create a bunch of unit tests, and then check them in. What is the difference between the
I got
agent and just doing that? I think that's a
I got
question from our audience. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I got it. I got it. Yeah, yeah. So the I'm gonna show, like, you're gonna understand in demo as well. So you can do the unit testing, you can generate the code with the unit testing, but if you want that, it's kind of like more intelligent testing, end-to-end testing and complex logic. So with the unit test, you need, or just like end-to-end testing, for instance, like I changed something within the code and then I pushed it, and then if the business logic changes at one point, then you need to go and update and a lot of things. But sometimes there's a lot of like cool things that you can do, right? You can do, hey, just let me show you, and then that will make sense in the demo. Because
Okay.
like you can do like a lot of cool, like let the AI agent do its thing before even you write your tests, or you can like test it out as in like, hey, you trigger a prompt and then it starts automating the entire thing and gives you a report, as in like, hey, everything that you're asking is actually working fine with natural language within the MR. Or you can just figure it out, like there's a code commit, hey, go ahead and test this with a specific integration and
Hmm.
then complex logic in mind.
Got it. So it's like a chain of logic that, happens to, for more accuracy. So instead of having to like copy and paste it and then the unit test run in the pipeline, what I can do is have this agent do that. And
Mhm.
if let's say the pipeline fails from what it generated, it can automatically correct that. And it's more, has like this chain of things that it can run. And I guess you'll show us right now.
I can just go into the prompt and
Mhm.
then
Yeah,
so
let's talk
one,
about the prompts.
yeah,
Can you zoom in a
let's
little
do
bit?
that. And then let's dive in so that it will make more sense. So
A
so
little
what
more.
I'm gonna do is like what I'm gonna do is first I'm gonna show you creating the AI agent itself with LangGraph, and then I'm gonna then move into showing you with the YAML configuration file.
Ever, can
Again,
you zoom in so much that the box is like to the edges? Yeah, even if you cut off part of the prompt, because it's very difficult to
Yeah,
see.
like
there
go
you
to
go.
the top prompt and then
There you
like
go.
zoom in all the way and we
Yeah,
can scroll down. Yeah.
that's
There you
better.
go.
Thank you. All right,
Absolutely.
sorry to interrupt you. Yeah, tell us about this prompt. This is a very complicated prompt.
So generally, like before I start doing the vibe coding, I'm just like curious, like how you guys do it. But what
I
I
don't
do
know
is
that
like,
if it's vibe coding, if you have a multi-phase
Mm.
step prompt.
true,
I feel like that's like what's the word? Like thoughtful vibe coding, because
it is.
you've staged out like 5 phases in your prompts with personas and the core system and test scenarios. And I feel like that's quite a lot of work. I think vibe coding, the original definition is just doing it and not
That's
sort
true.
of fixing it.
That is so true. But again, even though like I don't like just doing like vague prompts like, oh, just create me a React app or create me this API. I
Yeah.
try to give the hey API spec. I try to give like what it's supposed to do. And also like think about it as in like, oh, if I was an engineering manager or product manager, what would I want AI to do for me? So it's
Yeah.
kind of like I would just go as in, hey, so you're a senior test automation architect, and doing building AI agents for me, and make
Yeah.
sure to create a LangGraph React agent for my sliding puzzle testing. And then I give the core setup. Then I tell them like, hey, just these are the core tools with exact logic that you need to follow. I think about it as in like, what is the minimal viable product that I can create?
Mm.
Even like I just put probably like 45 minutes to create the prompt itself.
Which is really interesting, and we talked about this a little bit in the pre-show, but what I thought was cool, and it reminded me because you were doing old QA and new QA inspiration, and like in the past, maybe we would have spent like an hour, 45 minutes, couple hours on the specs for the
For
project.
sure.
But now we're spending a lot of that time. And it's important to still spec out your project. Don't get me wrong. People are going to quote me and be like, you don't spec your projects anymore. But I think we're spending all this time on the prompt so that the output of the prompt is super helpful. And so it's really great to see your thought process here, where you have a core setup, you have the master prompt, and then you have sort of here's the tools I need, here's the test scenarios, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And also I want to highlight something from my
The
PTSD.
no
From my
mocking ever.
no mocking ever. Do you mind if I tell the story why I put this?
No, no,
Because of my
please, please. I've been putting caps all the time in mine because a lot of times, a lot of LLMs right now, they're like, "You want a cheat sheet? Do you want me to put that in a doc?" And it's like, "No, I want to have a conversation, and I don't need you to organize stuff." So I in caps, I'm always like, "No more cheat sheets." And so when I saw that, I was like, "There has to be a story behind that."
Okay, no, absolutely true. So before I joined GitLab, I was using one of the AI agents, and then I had a very, very important demo, and I didn't commit my changes. Yeah, that's my fault. But I I went to get a coffee, and I asked before that. I asked the AI agent like, "Hey, can you add just one test case?"
Yeah,
And then at the same time, it was like, okay, your Anthropic API is like create like not working right now for once because of the rate limit or whatever. Then it was like, you know what? You don't need LangGraph. You don't need AI agents. Let me mock everything for you. Reset from the scratch and everything runs perfectly fine. No AI. Why would you need AI agents anyway? So that's because of that PTSD. I put no mocking ever to everything I do. The other thing I do is that I keep iterating, running test scenarios until you're done. So I put this as well because sometimes it generate like AI agents like generate the code and stop. But sometimes I want to just say like, hey, just do like just keep iterating, testing out, run the command line executions, and give me the end result, minimum viable product, right?
yeah.
And then I add another. So I put together minimum
Phase
viable
two.
product
Yeah.
and then add another feature and add another feature.
I did
And I
notice that the
yeah.
persona is the same across your phases. Is that something also that you experimented with?
Honestly, this is like just to for the demo purposes. Like mostly, I just like put together these two, like, and then move on. But just for demo purposes, like if you want to take this and put it to issue to MR, like you may need to
Mm,
be, and you have a new session just in case. Like I put all these details, but you don't have to put together everything. You just need to iterate with the new business logic, right?
yeah, I love the requirements,
N-
like, do
no,
not
and
create new files.
and that story about not committing, that's why committing is so important. It just reminds me of that in case of fire, like if the fire alarm's going on, do a git add dot, git commit, git push, and then you leave the building,
Okay.
right?
100%, 100%. Okay, so let me show you what I'm talking about. So I'm not gonna because I just to save time, I just want to show you like
Yep.
what I executed, if you don't mind. And so what you're just seeing over here is that I put the prompts, and I can share that after this show. So these are the prompts that I executed. I executed the prompt number one first, and everything ran perfectly. Then I went into adding a new feature, and then finally I added the third feature. So what happens is there, when I told you like, oh, like iterate until you're done. So think that this is the prompt that I just showed you guys, right? And then I told this is GitLab Duo Agent Platform Beta. It is the extension in the Visual Studio Code. You can have it in the IntelliJ and others as well. So it just basically executed. But what is interesting is like it stops until like it stops when you create the code. But if I say keep iterating and running test scenarios until you're done,
That's
then
why
it
you had
starts.
that requirement there.
Yeah, so then it starts running the terminal commands, and then at the end it says, okay, your core functionality is done. Everything is
Yay!
working perfectly. Just go ahead and do your thing. So, and I want to show you what it's like that three prompts generated, right?
Yeah.
So this is actually what I was trying to say. um, that with the new AI
Yeah.
agent, what is different, right? So
Yeah.
test scenarios. So let's go to the test scenarios. I'm gonna just close this over here for a second.
Yeah, and for the
So,
audience, we did ask Ebru to zoom into
oh
her
my
VS
God,
Code quite a bit, and so that's
awful,
why we're closing Windows.
awful. Yeah,
Just
it's
so
just
that
like
you can all see it clearly.
So this is generated by the prompts that we made, right?
Yes.
That is
Okay.
correct. So this entire, let me actually go ahead and create it. So it's created the land graph, just like I said, with the create React agent. This is pre-built AI agent that comes with the tools and the memory. If you see something wrong, don't judge me. It's working, it's great, and I'm going to show you and prove that it's not a mock.
Yeah.
So and then I'm using Playwright, which is an end-to-end automation test that you can test your UI like in a specific environment that you can do end-to-end testing. Again, mine is super simple. I'm not QA, and I really respect what they do. So what I'm going to show you is that it's also generated the code as in test scenarios. So I'm going to run 3 test case scenarios, and then these are all natural language that I'm asking AI agent to do. So I'm going to click on the test, and it's going to start running the test for me. Okay. And it opens the Chromium. This is my puzzle game. And then what it's going to do is that you can see at the bottom, take a screenshot, call shuffle puzzle, take another screenshot, verify the move, and reset to 0.
Oh, cool.
It runs the scenario, and then the second scenario, make 3 moves, verify with the screenshot, and at the same time your clock is just moving. So it's just kind of like you can test out like different scenarios, and like by using the natural language. Normally what with the unit test and everything else, you have to like, this is your input, this is your output. Now like you're just like, AI agent is smart enough to like take a screenshot and verify from the screenshots that okay, it is doing what it's supposed to do. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what is generated, and then you can understand from the before shuttle and shuffle and after shuttle. Let's look at it, right? These are the screenshot that it took. As you can see, 1, 3, 4, 8, 6, and then after the shuffle, it is 15, 13, 1, and 10. It's doing its job, and the test pass. It's doing good. Again, you can add this to like maybe like additionally, like you guys tell me, engineers, like let me know. Maybe like you can add it
Mm.
to actual like definitive tests as well, right? It's just like inspiration to you guys. And then after 3 moves, you can see it took a screenshot. It's doing its job. So I'm
Hmm.
going to remove these just in case. Now I created all this, but now like think that, let me remove so that we can continue with the next part.
So the point of that game is just to get everything in order, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So it's like it starts off as like a mixed little puzzle, and then you try to get like 1, 2, 3, 4, like that in order to complete the
That is
game.
right.
So it'll
Yes.
create like it'll test like edge cases, it'll test like how the thing can start, and it'll
Mhm.
run all those like tests that someone and from QA would probably have to do that manually or use some type of framework to program that in. Now the AI agent's like becoming smart and determining all these test cases and actually like running them.
That is right. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So let me show you something that is like interesting, and I'm going to show you at the end how you can do it with the CLI agent, which is very fun. And also like we're going to have an AI catalog in the future with the GitLab. It's like engineers are working on very,
Hmm.
very cool cases as well. This is just a one example that the possibilities that you can do, but there's going to be a lot of like different AI agents in the catalog that you can use in the future when
Mm.
we release it. So let's come over here. What I want to do is like think that both of you, like you're in sprint planning with your product manager, you're your manager, right? You create an issue description. So what I want to show you is issue to MR without even going into the IDE during the sprint planning, one click after how you can create the MR with the generated
Ooh.
code.
Okay.
So I'm going to come over here to issues. This is planning phase. Okay. So this is
Uh-huh.
the planning of GitLab. As you know, GitLab is a full DevSecOps platform, including planning. This is similar to Jira, Notion, Monday, whatever you're just like, that you're using. I'm
Yeah.
going to click over here. I'm going to use Duo
On the
again.
sparkly little duo icon.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm gonna put this. I talked to in the meeting, and I know what I want Duo to generate for me. I want to add a new feature. So
Mhm.
this issue is for test automation architect. I provided this persona, but it can be anything. Like you can
Yeah.
write it down, right? So I'm gonna submit, and it's gonna populate the issue description for me.
Ooh,
Um,
exciting.
yeah, there you go. And
Does anyone use prompts to generate prompts? I do that.
I do.
I do that, I do that. I have
Oh,
certain LLMs that I prefer that do better on the prompts, and then certain
Mm.
LLMs that do better on the actual answering the prompt. It's like a whole
I
Yeah, I do that too.
I do have a project. So I'm going to create the issue, but at the same time, like I do have a project in Anthropic with
all their prompts
um
in it, like a prompts
prompt
library.
best practices, every blog post and content I found that is very useful for
I
me.
think we're gonna need you to export that and share it with all of us, including our audience.
Yeah. No, and it makes a big difference. Like I've gone into generating like AI videos and I've been playing around with that lately. And honestly, I'll use one LLM to then generate the prompt so that then I copy, that of kind
Yeah,
of roughly what I want, and then I'll plug that into another LLM that'll generate the video for me. And then I
yeah,
get things more accurate. So it's like really cool to see how accurate things are getting and how much we can create, with these tools. And then these
100%.
agents are like the future of like how I'm seeing it.
Oh, 100%. And also, like, one of my pet peeve is an issue with is description. I was like, fixing the bug, and that's the title, and there's no description, no success
Yeah,
criteria,
fixed bug. Yeah.
no nothing. That is my
Fixed.
pet peeve. Um, because then, like, remember with the QA, like, how are they going to understand what they need to do, right? How
Yeah.
are they going to test it? Like, it is kind of a pet peeve of me. So with the Duo, it's a couple of seconds. Just tell it what to do, and then it will give you that, and then you can keep iterating. But let's see, you're in planning. You created this success criteria with the product manager, and everything is good. So now what you can do is like this shiny tanuki, right? Is that right?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
It is.
And quick fact, the
Mhm.
GitLab logo is a tanuki or Japanese raccoon dog for those who don't know already. So look up Japanese raccoon dog and you'll see what the logo was inspired by. Yeah,
Yeah, it's very
tanuki.
cute. So when I create code to generate MRVit Duo, it created a session. So this session is basically creating a workflow, and what starts automating. There's no logo available, but again, this is an agent that I'm going to show you from the other sessions where this is created, and then there are some that are finished. I use like a lot. So what it does is this is okay. Wait, can I click on? There you go. You see, I'm learning, you
Ooh.
guys. So that zoom out. I hope it's visible. So you can see over here when I ask it to do, it gets the issue description. So it understands the issue. It understands your project, which project it is. It understands that it's a code. So it does the agent reasoning, agent planning, and also execute. Here is like, oh, this is what they're asking me to do. Here is the code that I need to change. Then it goes through all this work, all this work, all this work, and at the end it creates successfully implemented all the requirements, and it goes ahead and updates my branch and merge request. So I'm going to
Oh,
show you what it did actually, without even changing. There you go. Let me go to one of the issues that ran so that we don't have to wait for this thing. So I'm going
yeah.
to go over here.
You had like this
Um,
is like back in the day on cooking shows when they would be like, "We're gonna put this in the oven and we're gonna take this perfectly cooked lasagna back out of the oven."
this is the
This is the pre-made issue
pre-made
agent
bread
output. Yeah.
that I have for you. Yeah, because the AI agent, I think the best is
It
to
makes
like,
sense. We don't
yeah,
wanna wait.
exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the MR that I worked on, and
Very
it's
cool.
basically I didn't do anything. You can see over here it has the unique branch name. I don't know if you can change this. I need to double check, like if you want to edit as a feature,
Mm,
or it's a draft merge request.
yeah.
And then you can see over here
And
whatever
draft
I have.
because we recommend that you should review it before you merge it.
Exactly. And then here, like you can see the code that it changed, and everything, and then it created this pipeline of the workload, right? So you can just
Cool.
like click and see in the logs what AI agent that generated, like a Duo workflow created.
And this is
So
good, like, in the long term when you're running, like, multiple agents, right? Because then you can keep
yeah,
track of which ones.
absolutely. I'm just super excited to see like what our engineering team is going to provide to us. Like it is, they are like machines right now. It's super
Mhm.
cool. All right. So
So
what
you're
I'm gonna
gonna check
show
out the branch, okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna check out to that branch that I asked issue to MR to create. So I can just like show you the latest log, which is dual workflow resolve issue number 10. Okay.
Right.
So this is like what I edit is the last prompt. And I'm gonna come over here. Remember how many test scenarios that we created? Three,
Yeah,
right? Three
yeah.
test scenarios.
Now we
As you
have
can
4.
there are four. Now it's edit another
I
one.
mean, I don't know that we created the first 3, but sure. We
Oh
prompted the
well.
first 3, and then we
All right.
prompted the 4th.
True, but I'm gonna just like run this, okay, so that we
Sounds
don't have
great.
to waste time. So I'm gonna go ahead and run this test case scenario, which is actually clicking on this new functionality.
Yeah,
Is an easy, medium, and hard.
right.
So click on the screenshot, easy. Click on
It's
the
gonna
screenshot.
validate
It's
the
9
size.
boxes exactly. Every
Ooh,
time it starts validating what it's
Mhm.
supposed to do. There you go.
very cool.
Nice.
Thank you,
Yeah.
everyone, but also thank you, GitLab issue to MR agent.
Thank you, issue to MR agent. Now product managers can create their own and write the code themselves.
Kinda
And you
scary.
can
Uh,
even be on an island on vacation. You can do it from your iWatch, and
I don't recommend programming on your Apple Watch.
yeah, absolutely. So the last thing I want to show is the CLI agent. But what do you
Yeah.
guys think so far?
So
No,
far,
this is
very
really
cool.
cool.
Very
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, so remember I was just saying, let me just come over here. So let's review what we did so far, right? From what I was just saying. So we did we talk about the QA piece, we talked about this demo one, we talked about the prompt engineering, Landcraft development. And then we also, in the demo too, we did GitLab
The
issue to
issue to
MR
MR.
workflow. So now what I want to do is I want to do on-demand testing in MR with Duo Agent Platform by using Anthropic Cloud Code, CLI agent, and we're going to trigger testing in the merge request, and then we're
Hmm.
going to do it with the simple YAML configuration. So sounds good.
Sounds good.
Okay. So I'm going to check out to main again, git check out main. And sorry for this. Okay, let me take that back so that it doesn't. You check out main. There you go. Oh my gosh, I don't want to stash them. Okay, git reset hard head. Okay, git check out main. There you go. There is my main.
Ooh.
Okay, so let's go ahead and then see in the YAML file. Again, don't judge me. I use the AI. It's a super simple,
I'm
simple
judging
demo.
everything.
Please don't. What I'm doing over here, so I have two service account that I created.
Yeah.
One for cloud, the other one is specifically for testing and
Okay.
prompt. Like I did prompt engineering. So cloud one, I can call it from anywhere, and trigger it from the MR. Hey, go ahead and
So
tell me
so I have a
what.
question.
Sorry, go for it.
So no, don't be sorry. With
Uh,
CLI agents, basically we can bring in like Claude Code, OpenAI Codex, Amazon Q, like any
yeah,
of these third-party CLIs.
yeah.
And the way to sort of connect them is to create that service account for that CLI.
That is correct. I
Okay,
can,
cool.
right after this, I'm gonna show as well. But it's a very good question. Exactly. You create a service account, you create the bot, and
And
then
then you call the bot,
you
which will
call
show
the
us
bot.
from the MR. Okay, great.
And the
Continue.
bot does the bot consume a license, like a GitLab Ultimate license?
GitLab Ultimate license.
That might be a question. Like if when we
Uh,
create these service accounts, do we have to assign them particular like roles and permissions, and then like would it have to be a maintainer in the project or
Oh,
a developer? Okay.
developer role. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I didn't understand the question first. Yeah, that needs to be a developer role, and you need to give a developer role to that service account. But again, yeah, those are, and also like you give API access or repository access or runner access. Like It is just like you filter the permissions that you give it to the
Okay.
service
That
account.
way it can't do anything too like that'll mess up your project. You give it like the limited permissions just to create MRs because then you can validate those
Right.
MRs and
For
then you
sure.
can be yourself the maintainer while they're the agent developers. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's what I wanted to understand.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. It's a very good question. I think again, I these are all new and it is super exciting, but there's like a lot of nuances as well. I'm hoping I'm not messing up with that. But again, what like I understood is in like you create the service account, give developer access and also a role as well as provide specific permissions like read API, read repository, as far as I remember. I can show it to you right after this. But again, basically this YAML file is you're installing like these dependencies. What again, just like I did, this is an or. So either you can create your AI agent, or this is another way. You can create your AI agent by using Duo Agentic Chat, vibe coding, and those kind of stuff. Or you
Mhm.
can come over here, create this YAML configuration file, do install browser, playwright.
And I think what
And
we might ask you to do is open source this project after the show because I think we have a few people in the audience that are
oh,
really interested
100%.
to take a look at this a little closer. So, just so you know.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. I would love to do it. And I'm so sorry. I should have pushed it.
No worries.
But yeah, I just
Iteration.
didn't have time. But I will
Hmm.
absolutely do it. Absolutely. This is a very fun game. I had so much fun building it. So what I did is, and it worked. And I asked again Duo agent to create me this like
Working
YAML file
together.
for me. And
Yeah.
then this is the execution. I just gave whatever the prompt I have over here, I
Yeah.
did. And then, hey, create me this YAML file, and it's created this YAML file with this that worked.
Yeah.
Again, it's like important critical information,
But
and
I
it's
think the reason
executes.
why you have all this in the file and the reason why some of us might get smaller files is because your prompts are exceptionally detailed. And that's something I learned today where it's like if you specify a level of detail, I think you'll get a level of detail out of it. And so
Minimum viable product, though.
yeah, think about your
Right, 10
MVP, not too
pages.
detailed, but not too
Yeah,
vague.
yeah, exactly. Because like if you just provide too much detail, you're gonna get hallucinations, or like it's regardless of it. It's like whatever LLM that you're
Mhm.
using, right?
Mhm.
I think it's important to have
Learn the balance.
separation of concerns, and just think about it, minimum viable product, add and make it session in different
Mhm.
sessions too.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
don't lose all your work.
oh my god, don't commit after every
Commit
run.
before every agentic prompt.
Yeah, like what I do is just to keep track of it, my commit message is the prompt that I do. So if I'm doing, not necessarily vibe coding because I do validate everything. I don't just like copy and paste the errors and stuff. Like when I
Yeah.
do actually code using the agentic AI, what I'll do is like if I wrote a prompt, I'll have that prompt as the commit message. So I remember exactly what I did and what path I
Ah,
took forward. So that usually helps me out.
that's smart.
Cool stuff.
Mm.
Okay, sorry, Ever. Go ahead.
Oh,
We keep
no, no,
getting
no.
inspired. This is the service account for the test agent, which is the Claude test agent.
That is right.
Okay.
Again, I come over here. Remember, you were just talking about the roles. So this is
Yeah.
the scope that I was talking about. I gave write repository, API, and AI features. Um, and and then what I'm just gonna show is that what else? One second. Hold please. Hold please.
Mm.
While we're holding, I wanted to shout out on LinkedIn. We actually had Mahmoud Khan and Amar Khan, and it sounded like a family reunion where uncle and nephew were being reunited. So I thought that was great. Thanks, Amar and Mahmoud, for joining us on the show. Made me smile today.
Oh, that's awesome. I don't know what that means, but I think
It was like his uncle was chatting, and then this nephew was like, "Oh, hey, uncle, I didn't know you were here."
that's
Finding
cute.
each other on
Finding
a
each other on
GitLab
a
stream.
GitLab live
Yeah.
stream. I really love
Oh,
that.
gotcha, gotcha. That's cute. Yeah, so the I after again, I'm going back, so sorry, but the after create the service account, what
Yeah.
I did is that I created the flow trigger. So which means is that this is puzzle test automation flow, that I'm just gonna say like, hey, if it's mentioned as an event type in the merge request, And here's the config path that I generated. Like, right, it's in
That's
my
the YAML. Yeah.
GitLab Duo Flow puzzle test agent YAML. So I'm just saying like this is the config path. And it's basically like this is the service account. I just picked the service account user and gave the project access and as edit as a member and edit like a little bit configuration. But again, it took me like 30 to 45 minutes and just like set it up.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is done. What I'm going to show you is one of those merge requests that we talked about, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's come over here. I'm in the MR. So here's, again, you created this, right?
Yeah.
Vern is going to show you, but actually you can add dual core as a reviewer and
And
then
it'll review your MR.
review
Yeah.
review the MR. But at the same time, what I can do is like, I did over here. So I can just like, this is my puzzle test agent. And then I can, I put it already. I prepared
You can even talk
everything.
to it. Yeah.
That's no worries.
And then I can say like, hey, puzzle test agent, can you test my automation test? Open browser, click on shuffle button. So see if it changes, then validate and close the browser. Then I'm going to comment. What am I yelling too much?
No, you're fine. And
Um,
so just to remind the audience, like our puzzle test agent is that Claude CLI agent that we configured. We set
yeah,
up the flow trigger for it. And now we're calling it from the merge request that we created with issue to MR, which is kind of cool because it's like one agent did the issue to MR for you, and another agent is going to test out the game for you.
absolutely.
So this is
And then
sort of a multi-agent workflow.
Hmm.
sort of, yeah. The only thing is like I clicked on it, but
Yeah.
again, these are all can be automated. That's the whole point of the flows. I'm just super excited. So what happened is that whenever I ask puzzle test agent bot to do anything, it's triggered this like workload for me. All right. So it just is similar to CI/CD pipelines and Docker. It starts executing and installing everything, and I'm gonna of course go ahead and gonna show you from the pre-baked
Yeah, what
uh
it would look like once it
what
has
it will
run.
look like once it is there. So I can just like show it from there. It's 1 day ago. I ran it
No
yesterday,
worries.
pre-baked. So let's go ahead and see how it's gonna look like. Okay, so this is the finished workload
Yeah.
that it tests. I'm gonna click over here. So what you're gonna see is okay, let me go up. Again, it just sets up everything, and then
Mhm,
my dependencies are installing browser playwright.
mhm.
And then it's gonna do Anthropic Cloud. Where is the
The
cloud? Oh,
Cloud
there you go.
CLI, there you go, yeah.
The Cloud
And that was
CLI.
all in your YAML, like installing all of these things.
Right, exactly. And then you're gonna install, and then it's gonna test all
Cool.
this
Hmm.
fun stuff. And then do the testing, and then you're just gonna tell like, how are you gonna know if did it mocking or not
Right.
mocking? Right, mocking. It's mocks, right? Like anything. I
Did it
have to do
actually
this.
run the test cases or did it just mock them up? Yeah.
Yeah, so then you can use so GitLab Duo Agent Chat is my favorite thing. My best friend,
Your
I
partner.
don't they're my best friend partner, and then I ask it like, "Hey, what is going on?" So like analyze this log, and then I don't have to go copy paste with another. It's not mocked. Look at that. So total runtime, it gives me the description, what it validated, what I asked, real browser interactions that it did. So it gave me the entire thing about what happened in this job, what happened with this agent. Because like, how do you know that it's mocked or not, right? Real
Yeah.
arrow handle. So I'm just so excited because like this Duo Agentic Chat, not what I do right now, because everything is so complex. GitLab is so big, right? Let me
Yeah.
just
Just to
stop for a
sanity
second.
check something. Yeah.
No, and this also can be done in the
Oh,
IDE. So for
oh,
anyone that
sorry.
wants works directly in the IDE coding, you can also use agentic chat directly in VS Code and some other IDEs as well.
Yeah,
So,
100%.
mhm.
What I in generally do is like I go to GitLab.org because it's such a big monorepo, like big projects. So, oh my gosh, like how can I add this API? How can I help my customers? Like I just ask it. Like tell me what it's doing. Like tell me how this functionality works. Like it's so fun because it understands a lot of like complex cases. It has the unified data model at the bottom that just like helps you understand your projects, groups. Like I just can like, hey, how can I assign this specific thing to front end engineer? And it just finds the front
Mm,
end engineering team assigns it. Like it has an understanding of GitLab as well. So I'm just like, this is my best friend. This web UI is my best friend.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so amazing. Thanks so much for sharing all this.
Yeah,
This is
Bru,
an
that was
amazing
a
demo. Yeah.
very
Thank
detailed and
you.
very great demo.
I
But
hope
in
I
the interest,
can stop very quick my screen sharing. Thank
yeah,
you. I
all
will. I
good.
will share.
So we're gonna move on to the section that we sort of talked about. Ooh, we did get a question regarding the workload. Can we actually pull that question up on the screen? Kuldeep has been asking
Where
some great questions today.
Okay, where's this workload actually running? Like in a normal CI/CD jobs or runners or EKS? So would it be the same for these workloads? If yes, then do I need GPU specific nodes? So are we running this in the cloud? Are we running this on our own infrastructure? And if we're running it on our own infrastructure, do we need GPUs? So I think that's
Yeah.
simplifying the question.
Great question. So what I think it is like, I think I don't want to lie, but it's in my head that
Yeah, if
like
you're
I
not
did
sure,
not
we can
check it.
always
Yeah, I'm
follow
not
up on it.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
we can
let's
follow it up. But I believe that you can have the runners run on EK, like Kubernetes, but I'm not sure.
yeah,
Like
we
I
can
need to
totally
double
follow
check.
up
It's
on
a new
that.
feature.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kuldeep,
we'll follow up.
we'll look into that and then we'll comment as a reply on your question. But thanks for asking great questions throughout the stream.
Yeah, and if you're
Um,
self-hosting the models, then you will need GPUs. Like if you're
Yeah.
having the models yourself, you will. On the .com, we'll have to find out more of like where the models are exactly coming from and what we're using. So we'll get you some information on that later on.
Awesome. We're going to move into our community voting section. We kind of teased this at the top of the show, but what we would love is for our audience to vote on the project that we build for the next episode. So we have prepared 3 project options for you, and some of them are inspired by Ebru because she came in with this AI agent demo and told us about MCP and LangGraph. And so what we would love, we're going to chat about them for just a few minutes here, but in the chat, if you want to vote for the project that you think we should build on the next episode, 1 for Contributors Garden, 2 for Dev City, and 3 for open source SaaS clone. So just pop the number into the chat, and then our team will we'll tally up the votes after that. In the meantime, we'll chat a little bit about these projects. I sort of wanted something fun that's interesting to build, so we have fun, but also has a foundation that Ebru, you can speak more to this, where we can connect APIs and we can bring in LangGraph to do something, or we can use CLI agents. And so I want to demo features, of course, but I also want like a community contribution angle to it, where they can submit things, or maybe they can tell us what to build, and then the chat will be more interactive.
Yeah, I
Thoughts?
saw that. It's like I thought that it was an MCP, NPS, NPC. I'm terrible with the abbreviations.
I
You're
would
like
also like MCP integrated, but I would like to make dynamic NPCs as
dynamic.
well.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, for seeing that, it was like, am I seeing it right?
That'd be so cool, like remaking The Sims kind of, or remaking like one of
Right.
these little like,
That's what I
and
was thinking.
then
It could be like a dev town, right, Fern? Like we could have a little GitLab building with like people working on Duo.
my little avatar will be stuck in the coffee area just
Just back and
nonstop.
forth from his
Yeah.
desk to the coffee. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
But we could have little NPCs and give them like their favorite thing to do all day, and yours could be like drinking coffee, and mine could be like drinking matcha. But yeah, it would be really cool. I haven't built a game in a long time. And so it would be really fun to build Dev City. Like if I had to pick, I couldn't come up with a good name, but just a reminder to our audience, if you want to see us build any 3 of these options, please drop the number of the option in the chat. So 1, 2, or 3 for your vote. That would be awesome.
Yeah, and we'll post this throughout our social media, I guess, throughout the week. I think we should do that. I mean, just to put this out there on what the next developer show is going to be, so that way you don't lose sight of it. But I'd say just comment on the post, say what you think the coolest idea is, and then the next developer show will start on that particular project. So, and we'll try to elevate this. I mean, we'll maybe we can give it some time for voting. Maybe like give it like a couple weeks to let people just continue to vote, or as people think about it.
Yeah, it sounds like people are still talking about some of the stuff that we were talking about earlier. And
Mhm.
so the chat's quite busy helping each other, which has been great. I've been seeing people ask questions and then other people responding to that. So,
Or,
yeah, get your votes in for which project you want to see us build. We'll
or
continue to share
contribute.
this or contribute. Yeah. I mean, maybe we work on an open source project. Awesome. Let's move on. Fern, I know you have a code review on self-hosted demo for us, so we'll move on and we'll share the voting list a bit later, so that people can vote after the show as well.
Okay, cool. And I'll do this real quick. I know a lot of people need to get back, to get to lunch or wherever, but so pretty much with self-hosted, so I'm running this locally on my GitLab development cluster. So this is running completely on my machine. And what I've done is I've set up GitLab Duo. I didn't include code suggestions because I'm just demoing this self-hosted models. But if I go to configure AI features, the first thing that you see is for every single AI feature, I can pick my own model that I have set up from either
Mm,
fireworks.ai, from Claude, from AWS, from Bedrock. So depending on where I'm hosting these models, I can link them for each different feature. So I have to set up these models in a way where I add the self-hosted model, I provide the API, or Amazon Bedrock credentials, but I can provide the API, the endpoint identifier, and maybe the API key if needed. And then what that'll do is it'll let me then select these from the dropdown. So
okay.
yeah, so I can host my own models. There's a lot of different ones supported. We can look back at the blog to see which ones are supported. But what I did is for code reviews, I'm using Mixtral 8 times 22B, so from
Okay.
Fireworks AI. So I'm going to use that model instead of the standard model that you get in .com, which is based on Anthropic Claude. And
Yep.
I'm going to use that for my reviews. So now notice that I'm logged in as an administrator. So I am in the admin area in GitLab Duo, and this is where I set this up. So I need a GitLab Duo Enterprise license
Okay.
to be able to do this, and I can do it for practically any feature, including the chat.
Yeah, this
So
is
I
this
can,
is something great about this. Sorry to interrupt you, friend. Is
yeah,
that
yeah,
like people can use different models for different things, right? And so, like, if you find that as a team, like Llama is a better model for you when you're doing code review versus merge request summaries. Like, some models are better at that semantic compilation of text versus, like reviewing code or doing security vulnerability reviews. And so I'm really excited about the flexibility here where you can either use a cloud hosted model or you can bring your own fine tuned model for like specific features. And so the
yeah. And you see,
granularity is great.
yeah, like even for doing merge commit messages. So I found that Mixtro is actually really good for code reviews and commit message generation that I've played around with, that we recently launched in beta. So let me go ahead and now log in as a regular user. I had that in a private tab.
Yeah.
And
And
here
show
you
us
can
what that
see,
merge request summary look
yeah.
like.
So here, this is a project that I made for calculating U.S. taxes, right?
Okay.
We have to do taxes next year, and we want to calculate how much,
Oh
we need
Fern
to
is
do,
no.
right?
literally scratching his own itch right now with
Yeah,
these
Oh
demos.
no.
yeah. You can see my age now, but essentially, I created a test. I'm running it, and I wanted to show like the GDK is really cool. GitLab Development Kit for those that want to contribute
Yeah.
back. But essentially, I'm using a shell runner, so I'm running it with the local environment that I have on my computer. So instead of using a Docker container, it's running, the commands and running the different tests. And so now to show off GitLab Duo, what I go is I go back to my calculator. I created a merge request. So right now I'm logged in as the Tanuki user, which is going to be the maintainer, but I am Fern. Fern created a merge request and changed some code here. And you can see that, added new features. And we want to know what those features are exactly,
Mhm.
because I didn't leave a commit message. So as another person, you can go here to edit, and you can summarize these code changes here.
Ooh,
And
okay.
this is going to be
And that
done
was
with,
one of the models that you picked.
right. And see, it'll go through and this introduces the tax-free threshold of 15,000, which is the amount that won't be taxed, and then adds these different functions to
Very
subtract
cool.
the tax-free threshold. So it's due to the 2025 tax changes, and it adds, different things based off the income. So I can do that. I can
Awesome.
save the changes, and now I have a more descriptive merge request. But
Um, so sorry to cut you, but
yeah, yeah.
Aaron, can you just like create an AI agent for taxes to do the taxes for me so that that will be that will be so good. I'll do the code review. Just do it so that I don't have to.
I'm sure there's some company out there doing that already, and they may sue me if I try to do that. But yeah. So pretty much like once that's done, you can see I'm looking as a human reviewer, and I'm looking that okay, the linter
Mm,
failed, but that was the
that's a
project or was
warning.
already failing
Yeah.
linting, but the unit tests are failing. So that's maybe maybe there's something wrong with the unit tests that were introduced and why they're failing with this new threshold that was added. So what I can do is before I want to do an in-depth human review, I want GitLab Duo to do a review. So what I can do is I can add a reviewer here, edit, and I can add GitLab Duo as the reviewer. And
Mm,
then what's going to happen is you see these little three dots. GitLab Duo is thinking now, and this is based off the hardware that I have set up, so it might be a little bit slow. So just in the interest of time, I may show you one that's already done, like the cooking in the oven. But GitLab Duo is okay, it did it fast enough.
da-da-da.
Um,
It was like, I'm tired of you guys calling me slow. Boom.
yeah. So, well, this is the resource on my computer. My RAM running all this video is kind of like a little bit low. But if you look at this, then it says, okay, in the tax calculator, ensure the income is not negative. So it adds this max function to it to ensure that it's not negative. It appends other changes and also adds, fix a typo in a test case. So I may have had a typo here where I typed something wrong, and then it'll give me that reply here, missing income C and add function. So it pretty much, I have income A, income B in this function, but I'm also adding income C, which is wrong. So then GitLab Duo is telling me that income C is wrong. And then I can go ahead and resolve these threads and I can apply the changes. So let me go to the one that I had run before. Um, just um, just because this one may have had some failures in it since I'm doing it on a limited resource machine. But
Mhm.
essentially, what I can do is when it does apply the fix, I can actually apply the fix. Oh no, it's the same exact thing. So I can actually apply the suggestions to a batch of what GitLab Duo suggests, and then I can automatically create the fix, and then all the pipelines will rerun, and I'll have this working. So that's pretty
Awesome.
much GitLab Duo code review and all these things in a nutshell. So I don't want to take too much of your time. I know I'm over time, but yeah,
Oh,
let's just close it off.
it's
It's
because
not
of
you. We just
Eva.
love hanging out. No, no, no. I thought that was a great show. We went over AI agents. We got to get some votes in for our next project. I'm really excited to live code that. We got to have everyone on the show for the first time. I think we're going to have you more often. I loved the demo. It felt very real. And Fern, code review is really cool. Thank you for showing us that. I'm particularly excited about like people optimizing and fine tuning their own models. So I know like some companies have like proprietary models for like doing code reviews, and so they can have that while also using cloud models for like merge request summary. And so I think we're giving people a lot of flexibility.
Yeah.
And though just to add to the reviews, like the way that I see this working is like as a developer, I would push the MR and then I would myself assign the reviewer so I can fix everything that it finds before I go ahead and send it to a human review. So I think
Mhm.
that's like we
Yeah.
don't want to remove the human element ever, but we want to make sure that it's as clean as possible before it moves on. So that way we save time in the tedious reviews. Like
Absolutely.
early on in my open source career, when I was developing an OpenStack and Kubernetes, I did a lot of code reviews. And that was one thing that it's tedious because sometimes there's little typos. Sometimes there's like quick fixes that someone can do. Oh, you're missing these tests. You're missing these things. So these things can all be done before, I actually have to go review it. And it saves so much time, especially for junior developers that are just getting started, helps them
Mhm.
learn while developing. So I think it's a really cool thing that we implemented.
Yeah, and then also you can customize it too, right?
Yes.
As
You
far as
can
I
keep
recall.
chatting to it, and have it look only for certain things,
Yeah.
ignore
No
certain types of
mockups
things.
ever.
Yeah.
No mocks ever.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you both so much for joining us. That's a wrap on our episode 3 of the Developer Show. I'm excited to see all the votes. I saw the numbers come in, but I wasn't tallying in my head. I'm excited to see what we'll build on the next episode. Did we just get a question?
No, it is
Um,
it is Swedish last name. Yes, it is. My husband is Swedish. My first name is Turkish. My last name is Swedish. That is Correct.
I love that. A special thank you to our production team behind the scenes, Jill and Olivia, to help us make this possible. A huge applause for Ebru. The audience is applauding Ebru for your great demos, and Fernando for always being such an amazing co-host. Thank you for the great questions
Thank
too.
you. Really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody.
All right, we'll see you next month, and we will build the thing that you voted on. Until next time.
Bye.